on, everybody? It's your girl, Taliban Teez. Each and every Sunday live in the place to be. Thank you for tuning in to the Blunt Truth. This week, we'll be talking about jobs, scams, and shams. Something we all know a little too much about. So we hope that you're happy to be tuning in and definitely participate. Send us emails, questions, comments, and concerns because I'm sure you'll have a lot to say about today's topic.
Absolutely, and this is dedicated to one of our listeners who actually submitted this topic suggestion after dealing with some issues herself at work. So Golden, this is for you.
Yes.
Thank you for submitting, and I hope you enjoyed the episode.
Absolutely. And just like Golden got her episode chose, you can too. So make sure that you contact us, reach out to us at thebluntruth@gmail.com with your submissions, and we'll be more than happy to talk about the topics that you all bring to us. And without further ado, as my lovely co-host gets on back to her post, we're going to go ahead and toast up for the week we've had.
Absolutely.
How was yours?
Trying to recover, still a little sick. I am feeling a little better. Thanks to Dr. Queen, Medicine Woman.
Got you, no problem.
Just trying to recuperate and stay afloat. Please do us a favor and not only to like this, but share this too.
Yes,
was having some technical difficulties trying to get it shared. So we really relying on y'all this evening to get this shared for us if you don't mind, if you can. Absolutely. And we appreciate y'all love and support.
Absolutely. And y'all hang out with us. We'll be ready for y'all in just a second. Yeah, we know this is a live broadcast, so this is your time.
Yeah, we ready now.
You know.
Before we get into the job scams and shams, I just want to lollygag for a minute.
Okay.
What was it, 24 tickets? Ashanti concert got canceled. It's so 20, I believe it was 24 or 25 tickets in 24 hours.
I really hope that's a lie.
No, it's true. I looked it up. Yeah, I looked it up. That's
terrible.
Somebody said, baby.
Baby.
Yes. Ashanti, baby, I would have bought a ticket.
I would have bought a ticket.
Here we go, would have had us in there.
Yeah, they would have, but they wouldn't have had no choice because they would have been in the
24 tickets in 24 hours. That's completely off base.
Oh
but
my God.
Just want to touch in on a couple things that we didn't see.
But I'm telling you, get so many people out here. Like, I love Ashanti era music. She ain't never get played out to me. Well, her ticket sales say otherwise. Y'all don't love her enough to go see her. That's a damn shame.
That's
what else happened this week?
What else happened this week?
Let's speak about our lives this week. How was your work week? Since we talked about jobs today.
Okay, yeah. Let me bring y'all in. So, it's probably my third week. Y'all know I change jobs like I change drawers.
Yes, you do.
I try not to have those things, but shoot, we got this podcast going. Extra money is needed right now. So I got an extra little gig, assistant manager gig at this little store, Dollar General. Shout out to y'all, I guess. We got some weekly paychecks. I don't gotta wait every 2 weeks. That's what enticed me to go ahead and take them keys. Because otherwise I probably feel like, but man,
baby,
this week has definitely reminded me why I am not a job person, why I'm not job friendly, and why I will leave your job
just as quickly as I came up in.
Oh,
okay. Gots to go and gots to get. Okay. Funny thing is, we work in the same place, so
yeah,
it's crazy enough that it's just funny how people will move around and talk when they don't know what they think they know, when you don't tell them what they want to know. It's been a mess. It's been messy, but what do? I think we always survive.
We
always survive.
I'm big on posture.
Said what I said
And I mean it.
And I'm not gonna say it again either.
Yeah, it's been challenging. One thing that we have been dealing with, and I don't want to step on nobody's toes or nothing, but I personally don't mesh well with. I don't even know what to call this type of character. Flamboyant gay men.
Gay men, yeah.
They are very catty and hard to vibe with, and the personality is so fake because you're already pretending to be this character that nobody knows you.
Yeah, because I don't know black women who act like that.
Yeah, so to have that type of vibe in the workplace, it's definitely challenging, and you have to like rise above and elevate and namaste and go outside and sage.
It's a politically correct world if you don't.
Oh, okay, exactly. Like you can't really say how you feel without offending. Mm-hmm. So you have to say how you feel in the most blunt way as possible. Absolutely. Without offending.
All why they say exactly what they want, when they want, and how they want, because they know all they gotta do is say that big H word.
I'm tired of that. So I brought up the harassment word first. Because you're going to stop harassing me because I'm a real woman.
Okay.
Robert. Whatever you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Stop harassing me.
Period.
Stop harassing me.
Period.
Because I bleed every month and I don't even want to do that.
Okay.
So stop harassing me.
Me.
For real. Like, it's trying. And then what's even more trying is dealing with a character like that, and you black and I'm black, and at the end of the day, that's all I'm really seeing.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like we should be getting along. Like, and it's like, now I gotta go to war with you, black queen, black sis, black sis, whatever you want to be.
Sis, hold on, because sister got shady, so we gotta be.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I know, sister got shady, so yeah. So
like, whatever. You know, it's crazy.
It is crazy because we're all in management. So it's not like we're having these problems with associates or employees. It's we can't even agree in management. How are we going to get everything running the way we're supposed to get it running if we got your one ass want to do everything but get it together?
And you know what? I feel like with that, I wanted to allow you that for a minute, but you done brought us in so well. To the topics that I think we should just dive right in.
Okay.
And speak on black people in management.
Yeah.
How do you feel like black people handle or approach their title and position in management? And
I won't say
okay, because I want to throw out a disclaimer. We're not going to stop and say all and some through this whole podcast. We're going to say black people, white people.
Speaking to the ones that need to be spoken to.
And y'all know automatically that we don't mean all and we don't mean some.
Yep,
it's the only time that we gonna say that.
Yep.
So going back to the question you were answering.
I personally feel like when you put black people, a lot of black people in positions of power, especially when they come from any type of struggle.
Oh yeah.
They use that as they everything for real. They power trip. Almost immediately. Mm-hmm. No sooner than they get that position of power, whatever it is, whoever they've been gunning for, and whatever the case may be, they start to go after them. And they do it mostly to their own people. Like, I don't see black people in positions going after, white folks or anybody else. I see them going after their own people because when it's a woman, it's because I don't know who she thinks she is, but since who you think you are, that you gotta go, but you think you that person in power. So I think,
you know what?
Go ahead.
I think taking that to black-owned businesses more specifically, I think that's why we as black people take bad customer service from black-owned businesses so serious when it happens.
It's so personal.
And so personal because, yes, we get bad customer service, at many places, regardless of what race or ethnicity owns the business.
Corporate, whatever.
However, when I come into a black-owned establishment, I'm automatically feeling like I'm I should be at home.
Just like y'all did for Black Panther and everybody was Wakanda forever.
Yeah, I guess you could say I feel some sort of entitled.
Yeah.
To where I'm like, y'all should greet me like a cousin that y'all never seen, or just it's been 10 years and you see me again at the family reunion.
Absolutely.
You know, like
you greet me like that.
Yeah, and when that doesn't happen and you shun me, I feel like why might as well spend my money with the white people.
Yeah.
And I guess some people might think, well, at the end of the day, we still got to support our own.
Yeah, but
true indeed.
They gonna fake smile up in my face while I'm spending my money.
Exactly. Because I'm not gonna spend my money in a white establishment that don't
do me right.
Yeah.
Treat me any kind of way.
Right. So should black businesses get hall passes for being rude and nasty to us?
No, you don't get a hall pass for being rude and nasty. You don't, and I do also understand that depending on what type of black-owned business you have, sometimes it be your people that come up in there and don't respect your shit.
That's true.
So now you have to act a certain way.
Because I'm also an employee. When I am an employee, that will give you the same vibe that you give me when you come into my establishment. Yes. You are not always right.
Yes. So I think that plays a lot too. Black-owned business owners, the standard is set much higher for them than any other business. When I shop, if I go to a black-owned business, I do go with expectations. And I don't think I'm wrong to go with those expectations. I'm not demanding in my expectations, but they are set in my mind. And if they're not met, I won't patronize there, any longer. I'll note my experience and continue moving.
Absolutely.
However, just because some customers have made or given a bad experience to those black-owned business owners, that doesn't mean that they should treat everybody like that. I feel like everybody should still be treated with love as soon as they come in.
I also feel like we shouldn't just leave that business alone in its entirety just because we got mistreated there at one time.
You support them.
I feel like we should let it be known to management and try to help them fix it so they can
grow.
Yeah, and continue, maybe a second chance. And if you go back and you still feel, that vibe, and it's not just that employee, but you start to see, dang, this y'all culture, then definitely don't let it be a third time. But we spend a lot with these white folks, but we so cutthroat when it comes to our own people. Like, dang, they treated me wrong. I ain't never going back.
Yeah. And that's fucked up too. That's where that double standard comes into play again.
Yeah. I definitely feel like we should give each other and ourselves, the same amount of chances that we give these white folks.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that because I'm quick to be like, I ain't coming back. I'm quick to be like, I ain't coming back. But you're absolutely right. We definitely should give them a second chance. Because we do give everybody else second chances.
Yeah,
and ultimately,
it's like we hate ourselves. We hate each other.
Yeah, and we want businesses one day, but we go into a business and shit. Allow them to have a bad day.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Allow people to have a bad day. And
that's a good point.
Take that entitlement out of it because we can admit we are going in there with that entitlement.
Yeah. So if
they don't go our way, we can say, okay, hey, boom, y'all had a bad day. It is what it is. Hopefully you have a better day.
Yeah.
And we'll revisit this. And like you said, if the culture the next time, and it shows and just comes off like that's the culture of that establishment, then boom, you can make a decision.
Yeah.
But I've worked. I never worked for a black-owned business until I moved to Atlanta.
I don't know if I've ever worked for a black-owned business.
I worked for one when since I've been in Atlanta.
How was that?
No.
Were your checks on time?
2. No.
They weren't?
No.
Interesting.
No. The first one wasn't. But after that, everything else was in place.
Right.
So I can't sit and say that. Yeah. What I can say is, one, it was a restaurant. So how the cleanliness of it, for one, was, it was bad. It smelled like a sewer, like a full, you've been here before actually. It smelled like, smelled like a sewage tank. Yeah, we don't bash black on, but it smells like a sewage tank.
Yeah.
And the turnover rate is of course very high because you have the owner, but then the general manager is the girlfriend, and then the manager is the homegirl, and then so it's just friends in business, but not
a lot of conflicts of interest.
It's a lot of conflicts of interest simply because the people don't have the experience yet they have the title.
Gotcha.
So then it's like, okay, so now we're really just running a shit show, but people are coming paying money and they're still coming. Mm-hmm. So boom, it is what it is. It don't matter if you see a roach. Don't matter. It's unfortunate,
right?
Because there's so many rules. However, it's like none of your people abide by those. It's just you have high turnover, so as new people come in, you just have them clean up what y'all don't want to do. So they don't really build relationships and rapport with the employees that they do have to make them want to do more and be more,
and that's important
for the establishment. So that plays a lot in it too, because they get to a point where, well, I've got this one open, and hey, I can open something else, and hey, now I'm just bossing. I'm enjoying my nice car, my trips, my this, but they let their establishments go to shit. Mm-hmm. Right. So that, I think that would be one of my cons with black-owned businesses.
Yeah. Absolutely, I definitely agree with that. And with that, was you gonna say something else?
No, I was gonna say some things like that also make it hard to support.
Right, I do agree. And I heard you speaking on how they enjoy their cars and opening more establishments. So this means they hire more people, and you saying they're not building that rapport. So there's definitely employees probably feeling the same type of way, which leads me into saying, actually bringing up our next topic of ownership.
Okay.
So when do you cross the line from worker, employee, to owner, entrepreneur? At what point do you get tired of being mistreated and complaining about it all the time, to where you start, trying to put yourself in that position?
Because
we got a lot of people that still work and complain about it all the time.
Every day.
And still have
what's the word? Tenure.
Yeah.
They've been at work.
Seniority.
Yeah. They've been at these jobs for a long time. Mm-hmm. And they hate them. They don't just dislike them, they hate them. And it shows.
Yeah. It's like a 9-to-5 slavery.
That's never ending.
Yeah, another form of slavery.
That's never ending. Yeah.
Wage slaves.
So, yeah. And that thing is really they tax slaves. Because the more you make, the more they take.
Yeah.
So
you are
I guess the point of crossing that line is figuring out, okay, this ain't working, what will? And most people are just afraid to do something new or do something different, whether it's, I went to school for this, I thought this was my dream and this was always what I wanted to do.
This might give them a boost.
What's up?
So I was doing some research.
Okay.
And I ran across the numbers, and this is actually from this year, I think back in May.
Okay. May 2018.
Yes. And I did not know this.
Okay.
But 2.6 million African Americans own businesses in the U.S.
2.6 million?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's actually the source will actually be listed in our notes, but that's actually can be found at entrepreneur.com. Mm-hmm. 2.6 million African Americans in the U.S. own a business. That is motivational. Awesome. Yeah.
That's awesome. You could be in that number.
Yeah. It seems like to me, a lot of the excuses are really just coming from people who just won't do it.
Yeah, they're afraid. They need the security. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there's an issue working a job. But at some point, outside of working that job, what else do you do? You know what I'm saying? When people ask, like, who are you? What do you do for a living? Like,
great point, because I bet some of these 2.6 million African Americans still work.
Yeah.
9 to 5.
Yeah.
Great point.
Yeah, I'm sure they do, because you need something to start. It's not an issue having a job. It's just because you need the funds.
Right.
So what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
I was also going to say that this is also important. This is also from the same source.
Okay.
The gap in average wealth between African Americans and white adults decreases from a multiplier of 13 to 3 when you compare the wealth of business owners by race. That's business owners.
13 to 3.
Yeah, so that's basically saying to me, owning a business as an African American decreases. That means the poverty gap between black folks, white folks.
Like that.
Yeah, it go from 13 to 3.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we this far apart wealth gap to
that. Just from owning a
just
business.
from owning a business. I don't know. It doesn't specify what type of business or what what you have to do, but it just owning a business. So what does that say to me?
You need to own a business.
Own a business. Own a business. Now I want to quote this. This is from the same source, and I want
Entrepreneur.com.
Yes, entrepreneur.com. The link will be in our show notes. This is a quote that I took out of there. The penalizing effects of racism robs black employees of fair and equal earned income simply because they are black. I'm going to go back and break this down. Therefore, entrepreneurship is not only necessary for black employees seeking to fully capitalize from their labor, but also for black returning citizens who attempt legitimate employment despite policies that restrict their economic mobility and subsequent earning potential. I saw you writing.
One more time, go ahead.
One more time?
Yep, one more time.
One more time. The penalizing effects of racism robs black employees of fair and equal earned income simply because they are black. Therefore, entrepreneurship is not only necessary for black employees seeking to fully capitalize from their labor, but also for black returning citizens who attempt legitimate employment despite policies that restrict their economic mobility and subsequent earning potential.
Write it down.
What'd you write?
No, I was just going to focus on the point of, one, that it says that black people are robbed. Not held back from, not robbed. Taken from. We're being robbed of fair and equal earned income.
And the cause of that is the penalizing effects of racism.
But now we're going to talk about it don't exist.
This is from entrepreneur.com.
Yes.
So, y'all want to talk about racism? I don't like talking about slavery and racism unless we're talking about this. Yep. Because this is the only time that it matters. Yes. Yeah. The jobs, the career choices, that all, racism all plays a part of that. And that's the only time really, in my mind, does it affect me.
Yeah.
When you're going to get loans for your business, it's going to affect you.
When doctors, lawyers, if you may need help with a case, anything.
It's going to affect you, exactly. So breaking this down, like she said, it robs us. That was a key word. And the cause of that is racism. And y'all want to know how to fight racism. What do you do? How can I do this? Let's march. Let's put our boots on the ground. Let's put our fists in the air. Let's control the narrative.
Let's put our money up.
Let's start a business.
Let's put our money up. That's it. That's all.
That's how you fight racism.
Yeah. That's it.
You start a business.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
you hire people who look like you. And you train them and give
resources.
Yeah.
Pay it forward.
Yeah. To start business.
Yes.
Like you don't want your employees to be your employees forever.
And you don't need a college education to
do that.
Start a business. So that's why it's so important that we're linking arms and charging forward in some way and passing down the information so that the generations after us and our generation know about and how to start a business. Period.
There we go. But what I wanted to mention was, and I don't know how true this is, but I heard this a couple of years ago, and I believe it's true. because he just seemed like he would do something like this. But Tyler Perry actually doesn't allow anybody to make a home at any of his businesses. You know, he'd give people opportunity to do jobs, but they're only allowed to be there for a certain amount of time.
Oh, that's awesome.
You are not allowed to be a stagnant employee.
That's awesome.
At some point, you should be moving
I'm
on
gonna
and
quit
elevating.
you,
Yeah.
and you, everything else is on you.
Yeah, and as if you're not working for an employer that's equipping you to be an employer and employ yourself, or to gain some type of knowledge to be able to own something, it's not the type of employer that you want working for you.
Yeah, or that you want to be working for.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly what I mean.
You don't want to be working for an employer like that, because you're giving something, whether it's your time, your energy, whatever it is, you're working, you're giving something. So they should also be giving something to you other than a paycheck. Period.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
And going back to the quote, so the racism robs you of the fair and equal earned income, and earned income, speaking specifically from your labor, because that's what it goes and talks
that's
about.
That's how the song you earn it.
Yeah.
You gotta work to earn it.
Yeah, exactly. And so instead of giving your labor to somebody else, give that labor to yourself.
Yes.
But with that, it's also saying, therefore, entrepreneurship is not only necessary. That means
you must.
You need it.
Start a business.
We need it.
You must.
Yeah, for black employees seeking fully to capitalize from their labor, because right now, what that's telling you is you're not fully capitalizing from your labor. Right now, you're laboring and you're working and you're slaving, and so am I.
Yep.
Let's be real. Right now, I got a job.
Me too.
Just 2-3 weeks ago.
Me too.
So right now, I'm doing all of that, and that's not fully capitalizing off my labor, off your labor, like the owner of the business of your job is.
Yeah.
So to actually fully capitalize off of our labor, we must.
It needs to be mine.
Yeah, we must start a business. We must start a business.
Yes.
And to even begin to free ourselves from any type of racial barriers, because basically that's what the bottom line is saying. For black returning citizens who attempt legitimate employment despite policies that restrict. So basically that's telling me any type of policy against you. So even if you're a felon, 3-time felon, even and
whatever,
I'm gonna throw this out, and it's like, what the fuck? But even rapists, whatever,
yeah,
whoever you are,
alcoholic, whatever it is, you can be discriminated against legally.
Yes, entrepreneurship is the best way to reinvent yourself.
Yes, it is.
Fact.
Yes, it is, because nobody cares about what you did. They care about what you're doing.
Yep.
And they're believing in what you're doing in your vision. That's why we support people.
Yep.
You know, so that's how that goes.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
No, that's just how that goes. When we support people, it's because we either believe in what they're doing or what they're trying to do. You know?
Absolutely.
So as long as we know and understand that, one, if that's the case, like, we shouldn't be working for employers that don't give a damn or respect.
Yes, or allow with your beliefs.
Yes, but that's not the case. We all work for an employer, have worked for an employer.
And
some people are blessed
baseline.
enough. Yes, some people are blessed enough to not have done that. But let's think about it. So many people have went to college and don't have a job that's in their field. So. And thinking about and understanding that.
And that's corporate America. It'll bend you over a doopie every time if you let it.
Man.
But if you pimp the system and don't allow the system to pimp you, you can't win.
Yeah, make that money and don't let it make you.
Like you could actually win from your 9 to 5. You don't have to be in bondage to your 9 to 5. And this is another disclaimer. We hate jobs, but we don't discourage people
from working them.
And bash jobs and bash worker people. You know what I'm saying?
However, in saying that, we got to keep in mind, black people, we are consumers. What did that article say? Was it 4 trillion?
Yeah.
That's our spending, our buying power. $4 trillion.
It was already high. It went up some more.
Yeah. So in the midst of all of our boycotts and anyway. So with that being said, that's why we should own our businesses, because corporate is going to do what they do. And we can't be mad when corporate say, if they say be the work, we're going to be the work.
Yeah.
If they say don't do this, we're not going to do that.
And what it boils down to is we got to have that, keep that same energy when it comes to our business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We have our down days, and this goes myself included. Like, we're not perfect people. We doing this podcast, and we connecting with y'all, but please believe, I struggle on this side.
On the daily.
Yeah.
On the daily.
And I speak for myself. I try to allow, Q to speak for herself, but we struggle on this side.
Yes, on a daily basis, it's okay because it's not always a terrible, ugly struggle. Sometimes it's like,
the struggle not always bad.
We're very blessed. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed.
When you learn how to struggle like that, and know it's gonna be some like dark struggle times, but it's still gonna be some highlights in your struggle. Then that's when you know you're ready for entrepreneurship.
Exactly. And if you can't handle that, then you shouldn't jump into it because you're gonna have your droughts.
Yep, that's a fact.
But when it rains, it pours, and I'm talking about blessings.
That's a fact. And right now, while we talking about entrepreneurship, and having a job, I want to go ahead and bring up our next bullet point. Job versus careers. Is there really a difference? And this might hurt some feelings.
Now,
and I want to answer the question first before you dive in.
I feel like they wanted to say it.
Yeah, there's no difference to me, to us, in jobs or a career. Your career is still a job. Somebody still
get laid off.
Yeah.
I don't care how long you've been there. Budget cuts.
Unless you're an owner of your career.
And people, I work for the government. They still have freezes.
Yeah.
And then you can get your back pay, but they still have freezes.
Yeah.
So, shit happens,
Yeah.
The loan freeze and then your mortgage due that day and the government froze.
Yeah.
So to me, then government jobs are career jobs to me. So
they are career government. That's a good example.
So with that being said,
the military people they love to think they got some stability.
Yeah, they do, and they don't. If anything, I think that's the
more
most
power to them.
Yeah.
Congrats, salute.
And I can say, thank you for your service and whatever you do.
It wouldn't be me, yo.
You're better than me in that aspect.
And I wouldn't be mad at you if you wasn't doing it.
No.
And I honestly wish that if you was black, you wasn't doing it. Yeah. And I think you should let these white folks fight their own wars. Because we're not creating these problems, they are. Yeah. And we over there fighting them to drive chargers and have benefits and GI
bill banks and everything else. So
it's not an equal trade-off to me.
It's not. To me either. It's not an even trade-off. And I see some military, like people in the military, they do build a lot of friendships and things of that nature. But then there's still a lot of stuff that goes into that because everybody is not one and the same. You got to think when you go to boot camp, you get broken to come to a certain type of system. But whatever. Difference between jobs and careers. So found this chart, and it basically is a comparison chart. And a job, it says it's usually something you have to do to survive. It's usually paid hourly. There's a high turnover. There's little to no training required. It doesn't always come with benefits, and it usually isn't planned. However, a career is something you usually choose to do because it's in line with your purpose. I'm using quotes here. There's usually paid salary. There's longevity. It usually requires advanced training, a degree level in, certain knowledge. And then oftentimes it includes benefits and usually it's planned and specific. With that said, they still the same thing. It's the same thing with different words. It's the same thing because just like you can get fired from a job, you can get laid off in a career. Something that you do to survive, career, you still do that to survive because that's how you make your money.
Let's be honest. These people are your associates. These are your managers. Your managers still don't really be wanting to be.
Yep, those are management is a career position. Employee isn't a career position.
Exactly. So when you look at this,
it's the same thing, just on a different scale.
You can know for a fact that the people over these people don't really want to be there either, because when you complain, they always act like, okay, we're going to handle it. And then when you leave, they laughing and shit like, man, fuck this job. They can't give a
exactly.
You know, so it's
exactly.
career and job. Now, I know some people, when they think about career, they think about lawyers and doctors and this and that.
Yeah.
And I get it. Those are different. Those are other paths of career choices as well. However, I feel like if you're gonna go into law, I encourage you to start a law firm.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be a doctor, start a practice.
Yeah.
Have your own practice.
Yeah. Don't go.
Be the boss.
Work for these major practices.
Yeah.
Because then that's how a lot of innocent people get engulfed in a lot of crooked or messed up stuff, trying to be loyal to their companies, their firms, or whatever the case. They can be put in different positions.
My main reason of saying this, though, is because you can't leave this or this to your child.
Nope.
Even this.
Because you need to be there to get all this.
Yeah, but you can leave your business to your child. That could be something that you can leave behind to your children. That you can leave in your name, for your name's sake. But these you actually build it for somebody else's name's sake. So while you doing this to create, to give you a level of comfort for your bills, to make sure you know you're gonna eat and have a roof, and to give you a little, what is the word I'm looking for?
Stability.
Yeah, and to give you a little stability. That's cool. But also find something and a way to build your own and do your own thing.
Yes.
Because that's very important. You don't want to get stuck chasing the American dream.
You don't want to get stuck chasing the American dream.
People be sleep. You die trying to chase that thing.
Okay, the richest place is the graveyard, because so many people ended up there from the stresses of their job.
Yeah.
Being told, hey, go to work, go to college, go to school, graduate, go to college. Then after you get out of college, you get you a good job, and you're going to work there. And then after you leave there, you're going to retire. And we ain't going to talk about how many people fall for that.
Okay.
The 40.
Yeah, the 40.
Man, so that's when millions of people in the world, okay, they falling for this. Ourselves, I can't say I've fallen for it because I know what it is.
Once you're aware, that's when you start to learn how to pimp the system. You don't let it pimp you.
And that's when knowledge, because it shows you the difference between knowledge is power and applied knowledge is power.
Exactly.
Because you can't know this and not have a plan.
Fact. The 40. You working 40 hours a week
for 40 years to then retire and get 40%
of what you were making. Of what you were, you're not even. If you wasn't making enough then, but now you're making 40% of that.
How are you going to really be able to sustain? How can you sustain? There's so many people do this, and that's when you end up a greeter at Walmart and you're not even greeting and smiling. You mean mugging? Yeah, or the cashier, or the retired and working. Yeah, who wants to do that? Nobody, but a lot of people are doing it. I don't want to be that. I don't want to do that. It's not my. We should not want to do that. And that right there is keeping us stuck in the system and in the cycle that's made for us. Yeah. And until we start creating jobs and becoming entrepreneurs, we're not gonna be fighting right here. Yep. And we're gonna be right here and marching. Yep. And boycotting. Yep. How we spending $4 trillion, but. Stop falling for this, and we got to stop teaching our children and the next generation to fall for this. Exactly. Because it's 40, but it really should be 50, because they go to school too. Exactly. And that's a good point, because I wanted to actually bring that. That's a good point you brought that up. So they actually groom us for the 40. Yeah. In school. When we young. Because we do what? We do school or Head Start. For about 7-8 hours a day. Yes, we do. How many classes?
No, how many days a week? 5. Monday
yeah.
to Friday.
And then you got
and
the
5
weekend off.
times 8. So
40 hours a week.
Yeah. We was busting 40s when we was little.
We've been slaving.
Yeah.
Being forced to learn in a way that we don't learn. And to learn things that we can't use.
Yes. Being forced to learn in a way we don't learn.
Yeah.
Why? So that we don't have this knowledge of starting jobs.
So we can't talk the blunt truth.
Exactly.
So shit could
this
stop.
right here, we wasn't supposed to be doing
no,
this.
We
wasn't supposed to know this. We wasn't supposed to be this aware. We wasn't supposed
to live.
Yes. We wasn't supposed to live. We wasn't supposed to be this knowledgeable. Yes. We wasn't supposed to kick this shit how we be kicking.
And that's why they don't know how to handle us when we're in this job and they in that matrix, but we really not in there.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
We're really not in there.
No.
So that's why I think it makes it so difficult when you're someone like you or I to be in a corporate job or fall for the 40, 40, 40 or whatever it is. You can't make us fall for that.
No, you can't.
You know, why? Why I gotta do that? We ask too many questions.
Yeah.
We just do.
And you should.
And so with that said, and also asking another question, like, if we fall for the 40, 40, 40, it's gonna be a while before we can collect Social Security, you know, before we can retire. But I know people now, my father being one, retired 30 years in the military, 30 years. But he working.
Yeah.
Right now. He works, got a job. So do you think we really gonna have Social Security knowing that we only gonna be getting 40% of what we made? Is that Social Security included?
That ain't what I'm gonna tell you now. That's not what the wealthy people do.
That's not
They're not waiting around busting their ass for 40, 40, 40. They're waiting on retirement.
They got business.
SSI checks, and they're not waiting on that. And I don't want to wait
they're not gonna groom their children to wait on that.
No, and we
have to go ahead.
Yeah, we need to start grooming our children to wait on that.
Yep.
It's like we training our children to be broke.
To struggle.
Yep. It's like we scared to do everything else in front. Well, I ain't even gonna say that because now y'all doing everything else in front of them, including being broke in front of them.
Yeah.
Cussing in front of them. Sex in front of them, smoking in front of them, drinking in front of them, being broke in front of them, struggling in front of them. Yeah.
Taking nude photos in front of them. People doing everything in front of their kids. And struggling and being broke.
Least you could do is stop being broke in front of them. Teach them how to grow up and get a bag. And maybe they can figure out how to be better people from there.
Okay. That's the best you can do.
Because if they broke and don't got no bag, they definitely go in the okay. Exactly. You felt my drift. And boom. I'm so glad that we gonna bring this up. Pyramid schemes. And quick disclaimer,
if I could show you.
we don't got no offer, we don't got nothing for you to sign up to. And even if we did, we ain't about to pitch nothing to you. It's not no pitch, but we're definitely about to dive into pyramid schemes.
I can show you how to turn $34. I can show you how to turn $10. I can show you how
you gonna turn $100 to $1,000. That ain't even a pyramid scheme. That's just a straight up scam. If you out here still, listen. If anybody share this, cause at least tell people fast forward this to this part, cause I can't believe that in 2018. People still trying to flip $100 into $1,000.
And I can't believe
in
people
5
still
minutes.
falling for trying to flip.
That's what I'm saying. I can't believe people still trying to do that. It's 2018. You didn't hear about that scam back in 2014?
Shit. Yeah, it was 14.
You didn't hear about that? Yes, you didn't hear that? Like, stop being scammed. Like, and y'all run from opportunities, but y'all dive into scams.
And that's what I don't understand. You do all this reading and researching, but not on the things that you're supposed to be reading and researching on.
What's some scam alerts? I want to give y'all some quick scam alerts. Scam alert, you cannot turn $100 to $1,000 in 5 to 10 minutes.
You can't do that?
You can't.
In 5 to 10 minutes?
Well, this MLM, this not the same thing. You can't turn $100 into $1,000 in 5 to 10 minutes. You can't turn any amount into anything. If anybody promised you an excessive amount of money in 10 minutes, from $100,
not gonna happen, and you just lost your $100.
First of all, I want you to ask yourself, if they could turn $100 to $1,000, why do they need you? And why are they trying to help you? They don't know you. They could just get $100 of their own money and turn it to $1,000. They keep doing it. It's a scam.
So if they had, okay.
Yes, any type of money that anybody turn to any excessive amount in X amount of days is, and anything, anybody promise you anything, it's a scam.
Yeah.
If they promise you any type of guaranteed result, no results are guaranteed. The only thing guaranteed is your efforts.
And that you get scared. So, like, know that.
Yes. And with that being said, I do want to talk about the difference in being scammed and MLM business structure. What you like to call pyramid scheme. Yes, because I guess it's shaped like that, okay? And this stands for multi-level marketing. Yeah. So this is multi-levels. Yep. Because there's many levels of people. So and these people are marketing. Mm-hmm. Okay? Yep. So, and it's many, so that's why it's multi. And you have to understand what they're marketing, so that's why they're selling or trying to buy a product or trying to get you to sign up. Yeah, or whatever because they're marketing. They're marketers. And doing the advertising, so no, you're not going to see them on commercials. That's what people don't understand about MLM. Yeah, this is a real thing. Yes. It's not that, now, it's not easy. But it's real. So if they try to, now here's where the scam comes. Mm-hmm. If this person, or even if this person sign up and be like, hey, I promise that I'm going to help you get this many people. That's a scam. Yeah, that's a scam. They're lying because they can't promise you anything. But this person put the grind in somehow to where his structure built this business. Exactly. So yes, he is making money. Yeah. But if this man promised you that you're gonna make the money like this man off buck, yeah, you can't. That's a scam. The promise is the scam. The possibility is not. Mm-hmm. You gotta have context clues, and you have to be able to understand. Say that again. The promise is the scam. The possibility is not. This is possible, and you can do this. Because let's count out how many times it's already been done. It's been done 1 time. It's been done 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So it's possible. It's doable. Yeah. It's doable. You can do it. Yeah. But they can't. Anybody promise you that it's going to happen is lying. Because guess what? They can't promise you that you're going to work. Mm-hmm. You have to. Effort. Yeah. This is your job. See, the problem is you scam yourself when you work harder for your job than you do your business structure. When you sign up for that business structure. You pay to go to your job, yes, but you also pay to have this business. Yeah. So you got to put in the work. You take money to make money. Period. Yeah. You got to put in the work. Yeah. And if you don't, then... So once again, you won't get this. The promise is the scam. Because they can't promise you about you. Because you know you getting scammed the moment you sign up because you know you ain't going to work. Okay, you know you scamming yourself. That's why you be doubtful when you sign up because you be like, I know I ain't about to do this, but I'm about to just sign up anyway. Yeah. See, scam. You scammed yourself. Congratulations. Yep. But the possibility is endless. Because they ain't even just got to put in the work. Yeah. And this is building relationships. This is indeed a pyramid. And it is indeed a scheme, but it's not a pyramid scam. The scheme of things is business. Every business should have a scheme. Yes. It's called a business plan. Yes, structure. Yeah. Scheme. The scheme doesn't always have to be a bad thing. Yep. Scheme is the plot.
It's plotting and scheming.
Stay scheming. Stay planning. Stay thinking ahead. Stay on your grind.
So, and that's how you get this. Now, so many people get into this, aren't ready for this, are scared of this, but are so willing and ready for this.
Yeah.
And love
the
this.
pyramid scam.
Okay?
This is the pyramid scam.
This is the scam, because this is where a lot of people are.
Yeah.
And then when they get right here, they really think they doing something. They still getting shit.
Yeah.
But then they get right here and they like, oh no, I'm good. Still getting shit.
It ain't that bad. I'm just gonna go home and wipe it off.
Look at him. He like, damn, I'm good. I'm chilling now, and you just ain't got shit on yet. You feel me? The executives. So, and it's employees, supervisors, managers, and executives. And executives still have to answer to somebody. So that's still.
Remember the careers. And I told you about the managers.
And the jobs.
Look, these are careers.
Yep.
They still not happy.
Nope.
This nigga rolling his eyes up. This nigga like, fuck.
And he called it. And all the jobs, man.
Yeah.
These are jobs right here.
Pyramid scams. It's
a difference.
It's a deal.
You know, and neither of them are the ones that are gonna be something that you can leave to your children. You know, they're nothing that you can build a legacy with.
So let's go back to the. Now this.
You can build it.
It's a great opportunity. You can't leave this to your children. Mm-hmm. However, you can run up a check, build a bag, and start a business. And then leave that to your children.
Yes. This will put you in a position.
This gives you leverage.
Uh-huh.
Now let's go back to the other one.
Okay.
Now this, you can use this to build you leverage to start
some type of structure.
This is like a business starter kit. If you never owned a business, never knew how to start a business,
this will teach you everything you need to know.
Yep. This is like college.
Yeah.
And think of your investment as business school. Because you're going to learn what to do, what not to do, and how to start your business pretty much.
And I went into the college of entrepreneurship. Yeah, you don't need like a 4-year degree or anything. You just need an MLM.
Yep, that's it.
That's it. Because it gives you the mindset. It gives you all the tools that you need. The conversation, the attitude, the spirit. It gives you everything that you need to be a successful entrepreneur. So even if you don't succeed in that MLM industry, you still have the tools to start and create your own and promote and do the things that you need to do to get that word out, to make sure that you and your business, your creation is successful, so that you can leave that.
Yes. So be cautious of throwing around the words pyramid schemes and scams and that pyramid thing, because these things are actually life changing.
Yes.
I
wouldn't have my mindset if it wasn't.
Okay, and I wouldn't be sitting here doing this podcast if it wasn't for one of these. Pyramid scams, as you guys like to call them.
They work.
This actually, because the whole point is to change your mindset first.
That's it.
Change your mindset, then the rest will follow.
Absolutely, because if you don't change your mindset, if you don't believe you can do it, you're not going to be able to do it.
Absolutely.
So that's why you get into affirmations and things of that nature, because you have to change your mind. Look, your heart, your values.
These people don't teach you that.
And
they don't have that culture at work. Yeah. If anything, their pep talk is to do what? Work harder for them.
This is places where you can't talk about anything that you like, love, agree with, disagree with. No. This is a place where
you can't be yourself.
You cannot be yourself. You're who I want you to be, or you're out of here. See this?
Yeah.
You're who I want you to be, or you're out of here.
This is the pyramid scam.
Yep. Don't get scammed.
Yes. Now, this is being shit on constantly and thinking that you're the shit.
Yep.
Because these people often think they're the shit.
Yeah, they do.
A lot of managers, a lot of those people that you deal with, those stank
Supervisors.
attitudes, or even they don't even always have stank attitudes. Some of them be great managers, and they be great people, and they're just stagnant in the mind. And they've been that manager for 5, 10 years.
And they just are tired of being that manager, and they're ready to move on to other things, but they feel like they can't.
Yeah.
A lot of people are prison and stuck to
or they don't want to
positions.
Or they don't want to. They want to keep getting shit on, and they're oblivious to the fact of the shit. And they think this is normal. Why? Because they've been trained 40 already since a child. They've been groomed.
You go through this
to bust these hours up.
You go through this.
Yes. So that's the scam. This is the scam. The scam is constantly and consistently being spent with the shit.
Yes.
Don't be don't be with the shit. Don't be with the shit.
Unless you with the shit, but don't be with this shit. Now.
This is doable. Now I'm not saying go join some shit. Start some shit. However you gotta do it. And that means get a business.
But you can still duplicate the
absolutely. Let's just close out the idea of signing up for anything. Let's say, hey, you created a product. And with that product, you sold it to
Johnny,
Bobby,
and Susan.
Or let's not say sold it, leased it.
Johnny, Bobby, and Susan.
Yeah, to the point where now, every time he leases it, you get a percentage of that. Every time they lease it, you get a percentage of that. You know what I'm saying? Like exactly. Affiliate marketing. Start your own product, your own service, your own something.
Yes.
To where every time the people that you help eat, you eat.
Yes.
Who said it? Zig Ziglar?
Yes.
Help people get what they want. You'll get what you want.
Yeah, help enough people.
Yeah, help what they want. Help enough.
And all yours is taken care of.
And this builds residual income.
Yep.
You know,
they're consistently coming back.
Yeah.
Because with all these people, you build relationships, or someone builds relationships, and it's really on your behalf.
Exactly.
Why? Because it's your product or service.
Exactly. So you guys should be focused on residual income, passive income. Now, when I say passive, I mean income as in income that's like real estate. That's residual and it's passive. Your job, that's actually just
manual labor.
Yeah, you know, that's not something. Find something that you can do, and we're actually trying to turn this podcast
into we're gonna try to monetize it.
You know, we are going to monetize this podcast. Also, it just wild popping in my head because great opportunities are coming and rising.
Yes, they are.
Shout out to Cash Color Cannabis.
That's awesome. Thank you for inviting us, the Blunt Tree Podcast, to be on this show. What is it going to be?
Tuesday at 9 EST. Yes. Wherever you are, tune in to livehiphopdaily.tv.
Livehiphopdaily.tv.
Yes. Cash Color Cannabis. Also follow him on Instagram.
Yes.
Cash Color Cannabis. I actually love the name. I love the concept.
It's genius.
I love the concept behind his podcast. And I'm not even letting you guys know what it's about right now.
Just check us out.
You have to, check us out this Tuesday.
Yep.
9 o'clock Eastern on livehiphopdaily.tv. Yes, that is going to be awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah.
That's actually our first
collaboration.
Yes.
And our invitation.
Yes.
Absolutely. This will be interesting. Don't know if it's gonna be an interview setup or what, but whatever it is,
I don't know. We don't know. I'm a tad bit nervous.
I am too.
But hey,
we're excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, we've been nervous. I know I've been nervous a few times on these.
Just in general, in just talking in the camera.
That's
nerve-wracking sometimes.
And then we're live.
Yeah. So it's nerve-wracking.
But we get great reviews, and shout out to you guys.
We appreciate it. We're gonna start reading y'all reviews.
Yes, that we're going to incorporate that into a segment. But check us out on Cash Color Cannabis. We've definitely been talking about the jobs and the scams and the the shams.
Yes.
But we want you guys to understand that we are not bashing jobs.
Nah, because you got to do and get that money and do what you need to do with it. Don't just go to work every day and then get off and do nothing and not work on anything for yourself. You know, you can't sit up and complain about it. What are you going to do about it? Have a solution.
Absolutely.
You know.
And when you start your business,
it's a stepping stone. That's what a job is. You know, a means to an end.
Not when you start your business. When your friends start their business,
support them.
Yes, and stop asking for discounts.
Y'all love that. The homie discount, the family discount, the brother discount.
But where's the support?
Where's the okay?
The
Why
support.
can't you support me?
Where's that?
Can we have it?
How? And you're not supporting me by asking for a discount. Support. You want to know what real support is as family? Real support is tossing the money and not even. You know what? I don't even want the product. Just I believe in what you're doing.
Here you go.
And you know what? Matter of fact, we got a donation today. Yeah, we did. We got a donation today. A person bought a shirt, but can't wear the shirt. So it was like, I'm just giving y'all money. I just want to support. I'm showing y'all love. So shout out to Dominique.
That's awesome.
Yes, he can't wear the shirt, considering it, you know.
Jobs.
Yeah, exactly. And we understand. Yes. But we appreciate the support, and that's real support. Yeah. That's love.
That's love you for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
And not saying that spending money is the only support.
No, it's not. A share, a support. You know, a comment.
Telling other people.
Word of mouth. Like we have to think about it. Before this internet shit, how do people know about things? Word of mouth. Start doing that again. Like that's all it is. You just have to start doing that again.
And even with the internet shit, y'all post about everything else. Post about your people's shit.
Please.
Post about your people's shit.
And thank you.
Absolutely.
Everybody's.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's love. We show love. I know personally, I want to, support a few businesses.
It's always like when you're going through that struggle, you used to have a list, of things that you want to do once everything start flowing the way you want it to flow. Yeah. It's like, I'm gonna do this. I'm looking at this. So I understand.
No, I'm saying like not like a big I'm gonna throw you 10, 20 bands like just just to support. Yeah. Something small. Mm-hmm. Buy something or just to share it or pass it on, even if it's not something I can use, just to maybe even get a referral for them. Yeah. I just want to, support and show love to some businesses. Yeah. It's just something that I thought about that I wanted to do, because I know oftentimes I talk about support, but I want to put more effort into trying to show support, even if it's not a monetary, support, just to try to help boost and encourage, because what you put out, it does come back around. That's true. And I'm not doing it to receive, but it's just the law of attraction. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can't fight it. So I'm just want to do more good. Yeah. Try to do more positive. Do more positive things. In the realm of advertising and marketing. Right. But not always have to be paid to promote or help somebody out, but also. I don't want people asking me either. Right. I want just let me do. Yeah, I want let me bless you. Yeah, I want to pick my own. I don't want to feel like I'm being used. By
don't want to go out there and just like, hey, I want to do this. So who needs or who would like you don't want to do that.
No, right. I'd rather be used by the power of other people. Absolutely. So we're going through the jobs, scams, and shams. Mm-hmm. I know we have introduced
our black-owned businesses.
Yes, and black-owned businesses because it's not a job scam or a sham.
Oh, okay.
I know last week we introduced what the fuck you mean? What the fuck you mean? So it was quite interesting how this week's memes kind of correlated with the topics.
The topics, we stumbled upon the meme, and here we go is our black entertainers, athletes, or what have you. And it says, What if black entertainers bought large amounts of land, grew food, bought schools, created jobs, and helped their people?
That would be
What the fuck
dope.
you mean? Yeah, that would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
However, it's not their job, and as their handlers would say, it's not their place. But we're not going to talk about that.
What the fuck you mean?
Yeah, you can't.
What if we did this?
Why can't we do this? What was it? 2.4, 2.3 billion? No, it was million. 2.6 million big black African American.
Oh yeah, too much. The business owners. I thought you were talking about the spending.
Yeah,
that
was
we do as
trillion.
Consumers. Yes, trillion.
Yeah, that was trillion. But it was 2.6 million African American business owners. So with that, why can't they?
I'm gonna take it a step further because
Okay.
I see where you're going with it, and I definitely agree with the business owners. 2.6 million, 2.6 million African American million business owners could definitely do some damage. Equivalent to this right
But
here.
how many?
But how much damage can the trillion, the consumers,
do?
what was the number of the consumers?
It was like 3 or 4 trillion.
How much can we do if we stop wasting our money on dumb stuff?
Everything but what we're supposed to be
and
doing.
Then what we thinking, what we meaning about?
And expecting.
What the fuck you mean?
What you rather?
What the fuck you mean? You rather buy fucking belts than start a business. You rather buy Jordans
everybody
and
buying bags and fanny packs, the men included. Like everybody buying purses.
Okay.
You know, like I don't understand.
Okay.
You know, and now it's getting cold outside, so everybody about to get the North Face and the Hilly Hinson and everything. What you mean? However, we're talking about
what if we did this?
What if you did it? You listening right now? What if you did it?
Okay.
What if your homie that's not listening right now that you gonna tell to listen to this? What if?
Because the way that we memeing about this and boosting about them doing it and bitching about them doing it, why we don't sit up and bitch about this shit in our sessions while we getting high like, nigga, why we ain't doing nothing for our community?
All right.
Why we ain't starting the business?
Okay, bro, you heard on the news they just the other day. They're not like
nigga, why we ain't get a checkers? You know, Rick Ross stuff. Nigga, why we ain't
the wing stuff?
We ain't stop. Nigga, why we eat there every day?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why we
ain't doing nothing?
Why y'all have conversations in the nail shop?
Oh no. They're not having them conversations.
Y'all talking about who y'all about to go out with and who you about to pimp for. Okay, bitch, we about to go out and eat and I'm only about to call. We ain't even gonna call them after that. We just about to get this free meal. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all not talking about this, but you want to meme about it.
Yeah. What the fuck you mean?
What the fuck you mean?
I don't even
like, come on, y'all.
We got a misunderstanding because I don't understand.
And I'm just saying, like, if we started applying ourselves, starting these businesses,
and stop expecting, because there goes that expectation again. Not only do it, we do going back to the black-owned businesses. We don't only do it with them. We do it with these.
Start our own business and do for ourselves.
Absolutely. For us, by us, right?
Okay,
so it's time to do it.
Maybe that needs to be a business I support.
Okay.
I need to wear that.
Yeah.
We need to go back to that.
Yeah.
That was important for us.
Yeah, it is definitely a part of our culture. And it is definitely a staple. I feel like
we need to go back to that
for our generation.
Damon, we need a sponsorship.
What's up, Damon?
We about to support that. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. What's up?
I've been like that. Why we start wearing that? Got caught up in the waves and the hype trends.
Yeah.
The hype. But no.
And that's around the times where it started. So
yeah.
You know.
Exactly. Wait to bring that up.
Yeah, I got you.
Wait to bring that up.
I got you.
You got another Oh, we only got one meme for the.
We just have one meme for the evening.
One meme for the evening. That's cool. We're not gonna meme y'all to death right now. We got meme on our timeline, but you know what that means? We need some memes.
Yes, that does mean that. And so you all can submit them at thebluntruth@gmail.com. And that's thebluntruth@gmail.com.
Absolutely.
Submit those to us, and Hey, even if it's easier or more convenient to submit them on Instagram, you can submit them at the Blunt Truth Podcast on Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah.
You know,
Send it
get
to
us
us.
together.
Send it to us. We do have a question of the week for you guys.
Yes, we do. And what is your why? Like, why, do you, and what should black owned, businesses and business owners, like, what are they and what should they give back to the community? That's our question of the week.
Yep. What should black-owned businesses give back to the community?
What are your expectations from them?
Yeah, you guys.
If you're supporting them, and that trillion does start giving the black-owned business dollars.
You guys know what you want from entertainers, but what do you want from the black business owners that are in your community that you could actually talk to?
Yes.
That you could actually reach out to.
Yeah, you walk past, drive past every day.
Yeah, that you buy from.
Yes.
Why don't you talk about this type of stuff with them? And we like to know, what should they give you? Like, what are some things that you want the businesses in your communities to do and give back to
the community? Yeah. That awareness.
We would like to know that. We definitely think it's important. And along with that, we also want to leave you guys with a few encouraging words. We're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
It's been, I think it's been a
great episode. Amazing episode.
We definitely want you guys to think about a lot of things we said, going through ownership, entrepreneurship, how to
your job, your career,
having some type of professionalism
about yourself,
yeah,
and get some class about yourself.
Yeah, because professionalism is subjective.
Yeah.
A lot of people got their own meaning of professionalism. Yeah. But just think about it in the terms of, would you want someone to do it to you while you're spending your money? Yeah,
that treat people the way you want to be treated syndrome. And the golden rule.
And take it a step further, because some people are just common and basic. That they accept any and everything.
Yes, they do.
You have to also take it a step further and ask yourself, are you being reasonable in your actions?
Right. Or emotional.
Because you know whether or not you're being over the top.
Yeah.
You know if you're being over the top. And it's a time and place for everything. So no one turning down and no one turning it up. Absolutely. Even if you feel like it's professional, or it might not be the best setting.
It's not always what you say; it's how you say it. So learn how to say things. And once you learn how to say things and changing your mindset, you'll learn how to say things, and that will translate into you learning how to do things.
And we're gonna wrap it up. And before we wrap it up, I did actually have a few things, because I didn't want to have a negative podcast about jobs and businesses and black businesses. I don't think it was negative, but I wanted to leave a little cherry on top that we can kind of leave them with ways to improve their customer service. And I feel like these 5 steps would help black businesses grow. And that's what we're all about, growth. So we're gonna dive in, then we're gonna wrap it up with a few encouraging words for our listeners. Right?
Absolutely.
So number 1, help the customers to help themselves.
Absolutely.
Make it easy for them to be able to get help if needed. A chat feature or email, whatever. But have it visible. Don't leave them searching.
Make it convenient.
Yeah. Listen to customer feedback.
Absolutely.
Listen to how your customers feel. They don't want to spend their money.
Yes. And how you be certain when listening.
Yeah, exactly. That's important. Know what to listen to.
Eat the meat and spit out the bones.
Then that's key.
Yes.
That's very key. And guess what? You just nailed the third one. Don't take it personal.
Yes.
Don't take it personal. Like you said, eat the meat, spit out the bones. It's not something It's not against you. You know, it's the business, and they're spending their money.
Yeah, so you just gotta do what needs to be done.
Exactly.
It's not it's not personal. You know, it's not
Yeah.
your store. and even if it is, hey, you gotta think about it if it was your money.
Yeah,
You know,
and that's the point, and that's the standpoint
so-
we're looking at it for, as a business owner.
Absolutely.
You know, this is things you can teach
Yeah.
or implement in your store. Don't take it personal,
Absolutely.
but implement things that could be better. And like you said, take eat the meat, spit out the bone. Take what you could use.
And if you don't take it personal, you don't have no reason to have an attitude.
Exactly. And you should not. If you get an attitude about everything, you shouldn't even be in business.
That's absolutely correct.
Or in customer service.
That's
Not be in a warehouse.
Oh, that is
Or
absolutely correct.
somewhere away from
You
people.
shouldn't even be there.
Yeah, somewhere away from people.
Be at home.
Well,
Because
they gotta make some money.
Okay, so work
They
from
can
home.
get a job with
Work from home.
and do what? If working from home, you gotta talk to people.
Well, what are you gonna do? Just
Warehouse.
Yeah, boxes.
Exactly. Something, products or something. Listen to your team.
Yes.
Listen to your staff.
That's right.
If your business, yes. Listen to the people who are helping you grow your business. Listen to them. Because why? If you're the business owner, 9 times out of 10, you're not there. Right?
That's true.
So listen to the people who are
Tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
And make the proper adjustments.
Exactly.
Show them that they're hurt. Don't just tell them that they're hurt.
Exactly. That's key. That's very important. Make the proper adjustments.
Absolutely.
And let the adjustments be visible.
Yes. That's
For-
important.
Yeah.
That is very important because if they're not visible, you're going to have the constant complaints about the same thing. And as the owner, you're going to get tired of that. The manager's going to get tired of that. And then that comes into personal, we're going to, just things that you don't need.
Like I'm
in
telling
the
you, you're not doing anything
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Things that you don't need in the workplace. So as the business owner, you are to also make sure that, hey, you got your employees' best interest at all times.
And I'm gonna say
And
most
they're back
employees
at all
still when they're disgruntled at work.
Mhm.
Most happy employees, they feel a type of connection or
And what's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong.
loyalty
Yeah.
to their managers, to their boss.
Mhm.
They don't really, they think twice.
Disgruntled employees.
But disgruntled employees,
They'll do
they will
whatever.
tap you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you want to build that rapport where when your people are telling you how they feel,
But
let them
acknowledge that.
Yeah, let them see that you're making changes about it.
Absolutely.
And enhance the complaints.
Yeah.
Enhance the complaints. Well, like when people are talking about them, make that be known to your team.
Yeah.
Don't let that just be.
Everybody needs to know because then you can make a conscious effort to do something about it. If one shift no or one person no and the other person doesn't, you cannot handle it the same. It's impossible to do that.
Yeah.
Then there's no consistency in the customer service. And that leads to doubt and lack of a returning customer and everything in between.
Yeah, and be grateful that your
Yeah.
customer took the time to actually tell you, to help you build.
Yes.
Because they could just leave and never come back.
Absolutely. Tough skin.
Yeah.
You have to have tough skin.
Very important.
As an entrepreneur.
Very important. Anything you want to add to building customer service?
No, definitely always keep a smile.
Absolutely.
You know, a smile. And even when you don't have a smile, keep the proper tone. And body language is important.
Yes.
When you have a business or a storefront or whatever it is, you have to make sure that, I'm not saying to kiss the ass of the customer.
Never that.
You know, but definitely always have the here to help. What can I do to make things better?
Because that's what you apply to do.
Absolutely. You know, what can I do? How can I help? And as long as you're doing that and you're moving like that, you shouldn't have any issues as far as customer service is concerned.
And train your employees that way.
Absolutely.
As a business owner.
Absolutely. And if you're not doing that, or if you've done that and you see that that's not happening, then do everything that you can to rectify that because reputation is everything when it comes to business.
Yep. And going into ending and closing this up, we do encourage you guys to start a business.
Absolutely.
Start some type of business.
Even if you have a career.
Yeah.
You know, you have
Even,
to.
yeah, that's
Even
important.
if you have a
That's
career,
important.
even if you have a job, start
That was
something
very
for
important.
yourself.
Good job.
Yeah, no problem. start something for yourself, you know, and the generations to come after you. Because if you don't, and throughout your life, in their life, you're not there, and then when you're gone, it's still nothing there because you can't leave a job or anything like that. It's like, well, damn, is it in vain?
And you know what?
You know,
tapping on to even if you have a career, I love that you said that, because a lot of people with careers birth these careers, and it's like they brainwash themselves into thinking that they're happy for so long, and they think,
IRAs.
Yeah, they work these careers for so long, and they think they brainwash themselves into thinking they're happy, and then like they have this midlife career crisis, like, I'm tired of this. I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. And then they get stuck like, well, I don't know what to do. If you already have something on the side that's attached to your passion, you don't, what to do. Yeah, you don't feel that. Yeah. You don't have to feel that. You don't have to go through that. That was so important that you brought that up.
We're not groomed, you know, to have that. We're not groomed to really have a purpose in why we're doing things other than, hey, I'm trying to get my bills paid.
Work your purpose.
Want to get bills, you know, my bills paid. My car need to have gas. I need to eat. Like, we're outside of that. We're not thinking of anything else. Like, not too many people are thinking of the vacation. And when they do think of retirement, they're thinking about it from a job standpoint, not from like a, hey, I can do an MLM and do all of this, then I can retire and be boom.
Yeah.
Or hey, I can do, you know.
Yeah, they're more like, oh, can I get off these few days? And oh my God, I'm gonna hate going back.
Yeah, the mentality is just different, and so it's just important to know what you're doing, not only what you're doing, but why you're doing it. You know.
Exactly, and that's going into our empowerment for this segment. Know your why, El. Yeah. Why are you doing it? Why are you starting a business? Yeah. What's going to motivate you to keep going when you want to stop? Yeah. At the end of the day, when
it's hard.
Yeah, when you get off work and you've been working, you done got up at 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, whatever time you get your day started, got your kids going, worked all day, drove home, fought traffic for 45 minutes to an hour and a half. Now you're home, gotta cook. Now you're home, gotta cook. It's 8, 9 o'clock. What's gonna make you still open your book, open your laptop, pull out your phone,
get your sewing machine, get your art pad,
whatever it is that you're doing.
What's gonna make you do that?
Yeah, what's gonna make you work? What's gonna make you work on your craft, your purpose? What's gonna make you what's gonna make you still go and drive and figure it out? Know what it is that's gonna drive you.
And how can you figure that out? It's just you gotta think about what can you do if there was anything that you can do 7 days a week and didn't feel like work.
If it didn't pay you, and you still would do it,
what would that be? You know, and start just moving and acting on that in your purpose, your calling. You know, because once you once you do that, things will fall into place. Even if you don't know where that you're going, if you know what you're trying to do and you set your intentions, you will get there. You know, and that's the thing. You just have to be very intentional in how you're moving and what you're doing and why you're doing it. I mean, you can't have malice, you know, when you're doing that. But you have to be very receptive to growth and change and open, you know, and willing to be uncomfortable because of why you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing should be able to stop you from your why. You know, and that reason alone, you have to just acknowledge that. And once you acknowledge that, you have to act upon that. And everything else will fall into place.
And I'm going to give you a quick example. I do want to say shout out to Michael Taylor.
Yes.
In the comments, says, great show. Thank you so much for tuning in and being here. Please share this. Tag anybody that you feel like would be inspired. You know, and motivated from this episode to go forward and break through and break out of that box.
Absolutely.
But I want to give just a quick example of what she was just telling y'all. Like, whatever it is that you're trying to do or that you want to do or that you're thinking about doing, just do it. Stop thinking about it. And let me be careful, because you do want to have some type of plan and you do want to be researching and knowing what you're doing. That's an everlasting thing. I don't think that's what people understand and realize. that is everlasting in whatever field you're in. So you don't want to just spend your life doing that.
But you can learn what you earn.
Exactly. And just think, if we did not start,
how can
we're like, just look, let's be real. If you're watching this, our lighting still sucks.
Yes.
It's horrible.
Yes.
We're gonna improve. We don't have, and we do have microphones, but right now we don't have the extra equipment to set up the microphones how we need to and everything. So it's horrible. But guess what?
We're doing it anyway.
We got invited to Cash Color Cannabis to the studios with Cash Color Cannabis on Tuesday at 9 o'clock Eastern, because we doing it anyway, and because we did it, and we started.
We started, and
we were still thinking and planning
and trying to waiting until we got everything that we need. If we had to wait till all of our ducks were in a row, we dotting I's and crossing T's as we go along. But what? We're dotting I's and crossing T's, and we're going along.
If we were still waiting, we would not be even invited.
That's it.
To speak with Cash Color Cannabis.
That's it.
And I really suggest you guys follow him. Check him out. He's had some real dope people on his show.
He had Fat Joe this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And we're to follow.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Favor.
Can we just
favor? We drink and smoke the rest of our...
Yeah, we really did. But I'm just saying, start. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, start. And know the reason you're doing it. Why? And we gave you guys why we're doing this in our intro. I definitely wish you guys would check it out. But again, we have something to say. So we made a platform to say it.
However, that's coming. But speaking of candles, just really quick, because it smells so good in here. Sorry. We didn't get to do this last time. And that cannabis flower. And this sweet orange chili pepper from Light Up Candle Company.
Lit up
Candle Company.
This one right here is my favorite. I'll be buying some more. It's called Cannabis Flower. And I got this just for the
podcast.
Yeah.
And this is orange chili pepper, and they're awesome. So,
I don't know where that came from.
It came from, because she knew her why.
Oh, yeah.
I looked at it, and I just thought about it, containers are expensive, as a business owner, containers are expensive. So to just get glass beer bottles, and to clean them up, and to cut them, and to just get your labeling, just to have a why, by any means, she figured it out, and they're dope.
Yeah, they are.
You know what I'm saying? She figured it out. And so I guess the reason to bring that up was just going back to somebody who knew their why and stuck to what they saw in their vision, because they're growing.
That's
and I'm
awesome.
sure she never expected us as her customers, our target market.
Yeah.
But we got them.
Yeah, right. I was actually about to mention our episode 1. Mm-hmm. I know we talked about our why in that. Mm-hmm. I definitely want you guys to check that out. Yeah. And like I was saying, I know personally, I got a lot to say. Mm-hmm. So we created this platform. And the reason that we're doing this is because a lot of people need to hear these things. Yeah. The media is actually pushing out everything else.
A dumb agenda.
Yeah. And I'm really telling you guys, stop begging and start going and bossing up.
Do for self.
Yeah, the media's not really telling you guys that.
Do for self. And once you understand that you gotta get it, ain't nobody gonna give it to you, then you'll move differently. But until you keep waiting or hoping and wishing and expecting a job, career, or whatever to do it for you, it's not.
Yeah.
You gotta build it and sustain it. And it's gonna take a lot. It's not gonna be easy, but it's doable. It's possible. If people have done it, you can do it too.
Know your why. Know your why. Exactly. You can do it too, and know your why. That's what's gonna get it done.
Exactly.
And that's our empowerment segment. Know your why. Yes. Our why. My why. We have a love for y'all, man. A love for the people. I don't want to see us going down begging. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see us bossing up. And I can go on with my why. You know, and I'm sure you could too. But
Absolutely.
you know, it's not about our why. It's about the importance of your why.
Yeah.
Start something. Yeah. Do something.
Be
and
something.
And what's going to help sustain that? Your why. Yeah. Remember that.
When in the dark times, and you know, in the shadows, in the valleys.
Remember why you started.
The why is going to
remember why you're doing it.
And as long as you know why, you're gonna be all right.
Yeah, remember why you're doing it. Remember why you started.
Why, you know, and know your limits.
Yeah.
Know your limits.
Yeah,
you know,
know your
long
limits.
as you know those things. You'll be good to go.
Yeah.
You know, and I can't wait to see you there because we headed up there.
Yeah. And that's the show.
Yeah.
Make sure make sure you check out the Blunt Truth Podcast.com. You can find all the links to all the platforms that we're on. From Apple
to Spotify.
From Apple Podcasts to YouTube.
Yep.
So go there, check it out. Please like and share this.
Yes.
As you can see, our viewers are very small right now on our YouTube platform. We just switched over from Facebook.
Yeah.
We just switched over from Facebook. So we're trying to get our following switched over. It might take a little while, but it's okay. We're gonna stay adamant and consistent about what we're doing. So if you're on here right now, please share this to your Facebook. Yes. Let everybody know that they missed it because we're on YouTube.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna get used to saying YouTube. This is our second YouTube live.
And it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was a very great episode, I feel like.
Absolutely. We definitely appreciate you guys. The BluntTruthPodcast.com. You can find all our social media from there.
Absolutely.
You can also find us on all the platforms from there. Please like and share this. As we said, you can also find our t-shirts. I'm told last week I told you guys I was sick and get over it. But you can also find our t-shirts on the website as well as drawstring bags. And this has been an episode of Job Scams and Shams. This is the blunt truth about it. What is it? Truth so blunt you can smoke it.
Yep.
We love y'all and thanks for tuning in.
We're out.